This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw & Associates. For over 70 years, Shaw & Associates has been your trusted experts for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. We change lives and inspire true wealth, one person, one family, one business at a time. Shaw & Associates is a wealth management investment firm that specializes in taxes, serving as a fiduciary, putting your interests first. You can find more information or schedule an appointment by calling 530-674-1150 or on the web at shawassociatesinc.com. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
And we are with Rosa Leon.
Good morning.
We've been having a great little chat off air just because we really appreciate law enforcement coming on. And I was trying to persuade Rosa to come on more frequently. And she actually said to me that she doesn't want to be on camera. I'm gonna just out you, Rosa. It's like,
thanks.
it's like. So anyway, you can see her on Facebook and on our new TV channel, 93Q TV on YouTube, because we're going to talk about great stuff going on and great opportunities at the Sheriff's Department. But before we get there, you just got back from Washington.
Yes, I just got back from Washington, D.C. An experience that I will cherish. It's a humbling experience, something that I will never forget. So I was honored to be selected by the Sheriff's Department to represent Yuba County Sheriff's Department and be an escort for Officer Rodarte's wife, Monica Rodarte, and her two children, Antonio and Lorenzo. It's Memorial Week, and so the reason that we're there is a sad reason, but just the honor for the families and the support that's there for them and for us, because there's support for family, spouses, co-workers, and friends. And the organization, the COPS program, they're amazing what they do for the families, for survivors. So
you know, we don't often think about it until we have a week where we celebrate, hey, these guys and gals went before us, they made a difference. And we don't often think about that. We do with veterans because we think, okay, they're at war, but we don't think of our law enforcement as being at war. And yet some of the situations are they just escalate. And then the next thing you know, we're having to go through the process, right? But the next thing is then the families.
yeah.
So it's amazing. I'm really grateful that you got to be the one to do that.
Yeah, and it was, when I got there, it started getting off the plane. The police department, there were, I would say, over 600 sworn personnel saluting the family, saluting us, just welcoming us to Washington, D.C., and treating us like royalty. That's the word. They were taking our luggage, taking us to the airport. We were being escorted by lights and sirens. The experience is unforgettable.
So when you came back, didn't Yuba County Sheriff do the same thing for you?
Well, I came back and no, I didn't. I do get treated like royalty at times.
You do. I'll bet you do.
I always tell them that I have the best job at the Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
I do the community outreach stuff, and I'm going to tell you that this experience, I never thought that a little girl that came from Mexico would be able to escort a fallen officer's wife to the capital of Washington, D.C.
You got a chance to know her in traveling, didn't you?
Yes.
And I think that's when all the cameras shut down and, you get a chance to, think again, right? And then having that opportunity to just be there for her and for her, it's two little boys?
Yeah, two little boys.
Two little boys.
Yes.
What an amazing, I'm grateful they sent you.
Yes, and I will be honest that it also, being there helped me because there were times, because I was assigned to Monica Rodarte from day 2.
Oh.
And so we connected. And there were times, and I'm not going to lie to you, Fish, that I would be like, am I doing the right thing? she was at the worst time in her life because now she's thinking about how am I going to raise these two little boys by myself.
Yeah.
And we would have conversations and I said, you're doing it right. And in my head, I'm like, am I telling her everything? You can't say everything is going to be okay because at that point, I don't know what she's feeling. And attending National Police Week, we went 2 sessions where it's okay to validate feelings at the time. It's okay not to validate feelings. It's okay to, every emotion that's going through, the loved one's mind and the unknown. But I questioned myself was, am I doing the right thing? Am I there for the kids? And I'm going to tell you, Monica is an amazing person. She's a great mom. And those kids are a mirror image of Osmar Rodarte.
So my guess is that after this experience, you are now Aunt Rosa.
Yes, I am. So I told them, now you are forever part of my family, and they will always be part of my family. And we joke, and they love to go to the park. So there's been times that we've played tag, and I'm like, I'm a little too old for this. I'm going to twist my ankle, turn the wrong way, and those kids. They have became part of my family, and I have 2 girls, so I don't have boys, and it's like boys are a lot of fun too. The girls like like the makeup stuff, but the boys are the ones that like to get their hands dirty. So.
The boys' idea of makeup is called dirt.
Yes.
I mean, it just,
yes. Yes.
I had 2 boys, and I grew up with 3 brothers and 3 sisters. And so we had a big family. And so, and I always told my wife, well, I'd like to have a girl, right? So after 2, I said, so she said, no, factory's closed. We're done.
Yeah.
You get 2 boys. That's what you get, right?
Yeah.
But I just think young families, and in her particular case, your whole world changes very quickly. You have plans. You and your husband make plans. We're going to do this. The boys are going to do this. So having somebody step in that's able to say, from this day forward, we're family, what can I do? Sometimes it's not what you do, it's the offer.
Yeah.
It's the simple offer, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's actually easy. It seems difficult. So I don't know whether you told her the right thing. I mean, I pastored for 30 years and still end up working with people. And it's like, I don't always know it's the right thing, but I do know this, you're being there.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's here for me. I'm good, right?
And that's been, the relationship that we've had, I'm here for you. I don't care what time of the day it is. I don't care. It could be in the middle of the night. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. And not only...
I'm glad to know that. What's your phone number, Rosa?
I'll give it to you. You can call me anytime. But, in going to Washington, D.C., also... they talk about the blue blood, the unity. And I am going to tell you, I felt that.
Yep.
The emotions that went through, that I was going through, I know I wasn't the only one because we would sit and we would talk, but it was like, we are a family. I met people that, on the plane, and it's like we're having a conversation and we're like, hey, you want to go to dinner after, when we have a little break, or, hey, let's talk about our family, how you're dealing with your family. And I'm very thankful that the Yuba County Sheriff's Department allowed me to have that opportunity, because even though Osmar Rodarte did not work for my department, but we worked close together with the Marysville Police Department. So it was a humbling experience. And then we had people that would come up to us. So there's a unity run where they rode on bikes for like 300 miles. Wow. And the riders, they're retired survivors of law enforcement or in law enforcement, and they rode on in honor of a fallen officer. So we had 2 officers who approached us and gave the children the bracelets that they carried for their father in their honor. And so complete strangers, that they've never met. And it was like they knew them. Like just the family dynamics, of the blue blood. So it was very touching. It's like I said, an experience I'll never forget. So
I tell people, I have guys I was stationed with over 50 years ago in the military, and they still text every day. And it's like you form these friendships and relationships. Now, the different branches of the service will harass each other.
Absolutely.
With no mercy, right? But we all are brothers and sisters, right? I think law enforcement's that way.
Oh, yeah.
That you might kid each other like, oh, you work
with the firemen because they don't work, the firemen don't work.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, but when you are put together with a common purpose that's unmistakable, you're actually do what you do for others. And you might think, well, I have a business, I used to have a fence company. I build fences for others. It is not the same.
Right.
You're talking about emergency situations, people like we talked about earlier on the worst day of their life. And so that's why first responders, there is that unity. But then when you draw it even a little closer and you're talking about law enforcement, right? So, it's like the, Air Force, Marines, Navy, right? And so you got, what a great experience, because it's not people from here.
Right.
You're in a total different state, right?
Yeah, it was from all over the United States. And, it also allowed me to hear some of the stories from the other surviving wives or husbands, because I actually sat in with Monica at the sessions and to see how they felt, how they were treated that day, and what we can do as law enforcement.
Wow.
And, I'm non-sworn. I'm a community service officer. So it was an honor for Monica to select me to escort her, because I'm like, I don't deal with the suspects. I don't go hands-on with the suspects. But, she said, Rosa, you have been amazing. Your department has been amazing. I wouldn't select anybody else to come with me. So I actually came back on Saturday because I was there for an entire week. And I love my husband. I love my family. And my husband said, did you miss me? And I said, is it bad that I said no? Because it was so, you didn't have downtime.
No,
you're going, and you're there. You have a mission, and your mission is to be there for the family, to be there for other families. Because I had a wife that lost her husband in 1995, and she told me her story, and she's been going to these retreats, to National Police Week, to survivors camps and stuff like that, and she was telling me, you guys need to continue to come, tell Monica that the healing starts. Everybody deals with stuff differently, but she needs to continue to come, because my first year I came, it was overwhelming. And then, as the years now have passed, now I help other survivors. I'm able to relate to them. I'm able to tell them that what they felt, the craziness that was going, the numbness, all those feelings were okay. So it was, I could sit here and tell you stories for hours of my experience, because from Monday when we arrived there, I think I texted my captain right away, Captain Liebarger, and I said, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity, because it was like I was not that I'm a different person, but the feeling that you feel is just amazing.
When you find out that you're part of something much bigger, it changes you.
Yeah.
And I think it's an experience that you'll never forget.
No.
I will always remember, I got drafted, but I had enlisted. And I remember going to basic training, and I just knew they own me. I'm not going to just go do what I want to do, right? And pretty soon you start realizing, man, it's not about me. It's about these other guys with me, right?
Right.
And it just grows, and then pretty soon you're a community. And like I said, 50 plus years later, these guys are still texting, because you form relationships and bonds that, I would hope that everybody finds that place that they can connect. But being able to go back and be around other people, knowing I'm not alone in this. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm part of something much bigger. And that's been my hope, Rosa, for law enforcement in our area, because so many people in law enforcement have worked on both sides of the river, have worked in other places and work here, but they love this community. and they're here to serve and protect in a way that I'm glad we've got them.
Yeah.
And so you got a chance to go meet a whole bunch of people and said, you know what, this is going on all over.
Yes, yes. I mean, there were, I know that when we sat through one of the sessions, they said there were 4,400 people
Wow.
that registered for the actual event, but there must have been over 3,000, they called them honor guards that would salute us everywhere we went, that would escort us. But, you know, I also have to say, Back the Badge, Yuba Setter, they were part of, you know, my journey also to go. So I'm thanking them also for allowing me that opportunity. But I will tell you, it's, I came back and I was actually having a conversation with our undersheriff yesterday. And I said, Undersheriff, I think that we need to send more people every year. We need to send them to see the unity. We have a mission, right? We have a mission here. And I've been in law enforcement for 25 years. It could be 25 years, 24 plus. But I told him, I said, I'm not planning on retiring soon, but I can say I am part of this family.
Yeah.
I have a mission.
Yeah.
Now, I'm very thankful that I was allowed, unfortunately under these circumstances, but Monica and the kids will always be part of my family.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an amazing experience, Fish. So.
All right. Well, I would keep you talking because otherwise you don't want to come on here. So I got.
You got me. Okay.
So I do want to talk about, speaking of law enforcement being a family and the experiences that you've had here locally and now traveling and seeing, this is really something that is a wonderful thing to be part of the community, law enforcement community. So the Sheriff's Department has openings right now. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have openings in dispatch, and we have openings in our correction. And for corrections and dispatch, you can start as soon as you get out of high school, 18 years old, high school diploma. And I'm going to tell you that when I was 18, you never think about, retirement and benefits and stuff like that. But it's a great to get into for retirement and also to do something to make a change in our community. Our dispatchers are the ones that take the 911 calls. Our correctional officers are the ones that are running the jails, that are, making sure that the inmates are being taken care of. And then we also have positions open for deputies, for patrol deputies. And I'm in charge of the ride-along program, and I invite our community to come and do a ride-along and see what our deputies do on a day-to-day basis. Because they sit in the patrol car and they watch them go to calls for service. They see how they talk to the community. And also we do sit-alongs in dispatch. So if you're interested in a career in dispatch, then we can also make arrangements for that. Unfortunately, we don't have right now what we call the sit-alongs in the jail. But, if you are interested in a career in corrections, we can connect you with a correctional officer that can tell you the things about their job. And when you're in corrections, you can also be part of the bailiffs, the courts, and there's like programs because they do rehabilitation in there. So there may be like a opportunity to be in a specialized position where you're in charge of a program, whether it be like not a work release, but learning a trade. So we have those positions open, and you can just go on to the Yuba County, not Yuba County Sheriff's Department, but the Yuba County personnel page, and follow the links that will allow you to apply online. So
I did want to make sure we got this. So if you got a young man or a young woman who just graduated from high school, they're 18, and they apply. If you go to work at the jail, right, corrections, they train you right then, and they make sure you get the training. So I don't want them to think, oh, gee, now I got to go take courses. I got to go to the academy. It's not the same.
No.
And this is such an incredible opportunity for them to get into law enforcement. Now, can people that once they go to work in corrections, Rosa, can they continue their law enforcement career and end up becoming a deputy?
Yes.
Is there a pathway for them? So if a young man or young woman is saying, I want to be in law enforcement and I don't want to have to continue in college, I want to get in now, I want to learn where I'm at. It sounds like this is a great opportunity, but can they go forward?
Absolutely. So what happens is you apply, you get hired, you're in the corrections. So we actually pay for you to go to the core academy once you are working in the jail. So it's a program that we're required to put you through a year before your year anniversary. And then when you're working in there, obviously, if you have a desire to continue to be on patrol, you can, our department has what we call trainee positions, and they actually pay for your academy. So they'll send you to like the Butte College Academy to complete that, and you're getting your paycheck. So, it's an opportunity. We do the training there. You don't have to. Now, obviously, if we don't have the budgets or there's not a trainee position, then you also can do that on your own. You can be working full time, and then you can talk to your supervisor and say, I want to go into patrol. And so it's the modules. And so you do modules at a time, and you can be working full time and attending like night classes, weekend classes. And, we at the Sheriff's Department are very family oriented. So we are very flexible when it comes to things like that. Our sheriff is very supportive of us continuing our education too. So yes.
So the reason I ask that is because I've met officers from both sides of the river who at one point worked in corrections and now they're a deputy, right? They've gone out and done that. And then you meet other people, they're totally happy with where they're at. They get into corrections, they love the job, they feel like they're helping that rehabilitation process with inmates. I mean, it's a whole different thing. You're going to fit, but the Sheriff's Department's got so many places to fit.
Yes.
You guys got everything. You got watercraft, you got search and I mean, you just got everything.
Yeah.
You got drones. You have drones.
Yes. So I am also in charge of the volunteer program. And we have had volunteers who started out in the volunteer program because they wanted to get a feel for law enforcement. And I actually, in my time that I've been there at the Sheriff's Department, we have had 2 volunteers that have, one now is a CSO, a community service officer, and we have another one who is actually working in corrections. So it also gave them an opportunity, to get their foot in the door and see if this is really what they wanted to do. And once they said, yes, this is what I want to do, they submitted an application, got hired, and so they're now working full time. So
yeah, I wanted to put in for it, and but the minute that I go to work there, I want to know, can I retire, and can it be retroactive to when I was 65?
I'm going to direct you to speak to the sheriff about that, but I'm going to say no.
So you actually have to work a while before you get to retirement.
Yes,
Darn it, I thought it was age-based.
No. And, we have, if you have somebody like a young child that is not sure what they want to do, it's also an opportunity. We have cadet programs. We have our cadet program that you can come in and our cadets ride with our deputies. And that's how I started in law enforcement. I was a cadet with Yuba City Police Department. And, but I've stayed with the community. I never was a sworn police officer because I like my job. I like doing the crime scenes. I like doing the community outreach. But if you have a young person that's 16 and older and they are interested in a cadet position, we also have cadet applications.
Wow, 16, 16, 18. My grandson just turned 16.
Yeah.
He just got, he turned 17, but he just got his driver's license. He's so excited. He's all of a sudden I got this freedom, right? I had to walk everywhere, maybe a bicycle. Now I can drive, right? And he and his brother are both junior ROTC. Okay. So the atmosphere, that bonding, I can already see it developing in them. You know? And yeah, this is just great stuff. So 16, they can become a cadet. 18, they can sign up to actually work corrections and be trained. And if they so choose, they can continue to advance in the sheriff's department, and sky's the limit.
Absolutely. And also our dispatch. They can also start at 18. And, we have some dispatchers who have gone on to be police officers or deputies. So, yes.
Wow. Well, I am appreciative of what you do, because working with the community, I like it. Not everybody does like that.
I love it.
The community service, yeah. And I remember when I was a chaplain for Yuba City PD, and the community resource officers, the people going around, the guys that worked at the high schools, and then just the ones that went around, had the vehicle and would help with a crime scene or whatever. They just did everything. They did everything. If there was an event, they were there, handing out little cards and stuff. I mean, it was like they love the community. And so that's another great opportunity in our area for people to help do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And come out and be a volunteer. Come out, and because our volunteers, we have our volunteers attend community events. We do the parades. We do what's called the neighborhood watch meetings. We do vacation checks, vehicle maintenance. I have people, volunteers who help in evidence. So we'll find your niche, come down and apply. And if, I've also had people that have came on and then they realized, oh, this isn't what I was looking for. And it's okay. It's okay, but the community here in Yuba Sutter has been amazing with our partnership. They love law enforcement. I have seen that through Back the Badge. I've seen that. And so, we're family. Just come on and do a sit along, do a ride along. Just see we're people. Our deputies are meeting people in their worst day, but they're human beings. So
yeah, I think I should grab my camera guy and we'll do cop karaoke.
Okay. I'll find somebody for you. There you go.
Wonder what officer's going to be willing to do that.
I'll find someone for you.
Rosa, thanks so much for coming on. And I am excited for you, having had that National Police Week experience. I am very grateful that you made that connection with that family, so that not just the wife, not just her, but those little boys. And again, it's not always important what you say. It's important that you're there. So thank you for doing what you do, because you'll just be there. Whatever it is, you're willing. Mm-hmm. And I will pray for your husband, who wasn't missed. What a terrible thing.
I'm sure he didn't miss me either. No.
He's a patient man, right?
He is.
All right, Rosa, anything else?
No, thank you. We do have our torch run coming up May 29th. So if you get an opportunity, it starts at 8:30. It's a bi-county, so we're all the local law enforcement agencies. It starts at Yuba City Police Department, comes over the bridge at 8:30 in the morning. We stop at Larry Giwicki, and then we come across the bridge and end at the Veterans Park here in Marysville on the 29th.
All right. So people can volunteer.
Yeah, they can come and watch us and cheer us.
Oh, I love it.
Okay,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.